I had the pleasure of interviewing Robert Clinkenbeard, and we were talking about the subject of how to be your own boss and the Ironman mindset for the entrepreneur. We're going to be talking to Robert Clinkenbeard, and this guy's a real phenom. He has a way of thinking that I think you're going to appreciate, and I think you're going to enjoy the conversation that I had with him the other day. So let's get started right now. With no further ado, how are you doing today, Robert Clinkenbeard?
I'm great. Well, I really appreciate your invite onto the show today, Mitch. Good to see you again.
My pleasure. We met at the Multipliers Mastermind in Tulum. There was a lot of great guys there. Robert was one of them. And I asked him if he'd come on the show, and he said yes. And I'm elated because, you've helped a lot of coaches in their time too, right?
That's right. Yep. Coaches in different business fields. But I just really enjoy working with people who are interested in learning and taking themselves to another level. Because as you mentioned, I think only 40% of people realize their full capacity in life. And I want to shake them. I want to shake them up a level.
All right. So what are some of the game-changing decisions that people make when they're going to take charge or even scale?
You want to make sure that you're surrounded by the right people. So when you're hiring people, your goal is to try and hire people that are almost better than you. I think people sometimes have a little bit too much of an ego and they tend to hire below them. I always try and encourage to hire better than you so that they can help with running over the business. So obviously that's probably one of the key things is around the people. And then once you have those people on the bus doing the right things, then how are you measuring those people? Do you have, any key performance indicators, or what are some of their goals? So making sure that they're doing the right things when they're in that position.
Kind of an underlying rub, right? To hire people better than you. That might be hard for some personalities.
It is. But, if you're reliant on so much of you in the business, then your business is not necessarily going to scale up. So, find the right people that can help support you, that can take your business to the next level.
You're an athlete, right?
I am. I used to play a lot of football or soccer over here, and then I moved into playing rugby. Nice soft sport, and now I do a lot of Ironman triathlons. So
yes.
That all keeps you busy.
How does that carry over into business? What do you learn from competition in the sports arena to the business side?
One of the reasons why I wrote my book, I think with doing like an Ironman race, this is something that's 6 to 9, 12 months out. So you have to build a roadmap around that. What are going to be some of your goals along the way? How much do I need to train every week? And how much running, biking, swimming do I need to do every week? So you build that roadmap along the way. And that includes maybe some smaller races along that journey. And the same applies in business. A lot of people don't necessarily have that strategic plan in place. What's going to look like in 1 year, 3 years, 5 years time. So I really encourage people to build that roadmap or strategic plan in business, but also personally. And then, what are those things, signposts along the way that are going to check and to measure where you are in that map? Yeah.
So I always like that because I came from sports. I didn't make any big milestones in any sport, but I believe that, American football as junior high and high school shaped a lot of who I am. And there's the things that I got from that I'm sure I may not have gotten any other way. A lot of it has to do with being hit real hard and getting back up, even when you don't want to, or it's difficult to, physically or emotionally. Either way, you got to get back up. You can't stay down there. And those principles, they seem to go right along with business because business owners seem to get the business wind knocked out of them a lot. As a matter of fact, it seems like it's a requirement. I don't know anybody in business that doesn't get the wind knocked out of them over and over and over again. Do you know anybody that just had an easy time?
No, definitely not. I mean, business owners could be a daily occurrence, whether it be, cash flow issues, whether it be some type of legal issue. I mean, every day they're getting, especially the last year, been challenging for people going through COVID. But I think you're 100% right. I think, that's why I've embraced this term, the Ironman mindset, because, you're constantly having to be hit, go down, and then come back stronger.
Yeah. I hope you're enjoying this conversation I had with Robert Clinkenbeard. I really enjoyed it. I learned a lot from him. He's a super guy. And before we get back to that conversation, please check out the like button, check out the share button, and subscribe if you haven't already. Okay, it's time to get back with Robert Clinkenbeard. The mastermind group that we were met at, Multipliers, they said something that I don't like it, but I know it's true. We're either going into a crisis, or we're in the crisis, or we're coming out of a crisis. And that's the only 3 cycles there are. And so you would be doing well to understand that and know your resources and where to go during those times. And a lot of times the right coach is the place to be, for that. When you see your clients come to you and ask for business coaching as a business owner, what state are they typically in when they come to you?
They're usually hurting. They're usually in a bad way. They're usually going through some type of pain, which is unfortunate because, a lot of the time, if they'd reached out to somebody around them in an earlier stage, they wouldn't quite be in so much pain. And I talk about that in my book, that whether you're in business or whether you're in some type of endurance sport or any type of sport, surrounding yourself with the right people, whether it be a coach, whether it be other athletes, whether it be just other mentors. I think it's just good to have those people around you to pull you through those types of challenges. I used to have, when I was doing my Ironman races, I had, a swim coach, because I literally could swim one length of the pool in breaststroke. Here I am, I'm now swimming, 2.5 miles freestyle. And, I had a bike coach, I had a nutrition coach, I had a run coach. I just surrounded myself with the right people because I knew that I didn't know it all. And it's the same with business. When I first started my business, I had a company with 400 odd employees, and at early stages, I realized I was really bad at the financial part. I didn't understand my financials, so quickly brought in a fractional CFO just to be able to almost like simplify all the numbers, so that I could really see where my company was going. So I think that the application of using coaches and mentors around you, I think is key for your success.
So I've been telling people a long time, because I did it the wrong way. When you have a one-man business or a one-man show business or a business that depends heavily upon just you, the owner, you need to start trying to figure out how to replace yourself or how to work on the business instead of in the business. Don't wait till you're sick and tired of it or you're burned out and you want to get out, because you almost don't have enough energy to do it then, right? Because it takes energy to do this. So I was reading in your bio and it dawned on me that, you could help people start to transition their way out. And if they're not ready to go out, they don't have to go out, but at least know how to set up your business so that you can get out of the way or be prepared to do that. Do you see a lot of people come to you trying to replace themselves as the owner, and it's almost too late because they're burned out?
Absolutely. I see it all the time. I started with a client back in November out of Phoenix, and I walked into his office, and his office was piles of paper everywhere. There was stacks of paper on the floor. And I said, you know what, I'm going to help you here. So I took a picture of his office and how a mess it was. And the goal is that, it'll probably take us a year, but he's already beginning to see the light at the end of the tunnel, where he's now beginning to delegate to other people. So that's something I'm still working on. Another client I just worked on, $30 million business. He's now hired a second in command. And now he's probably working 20 hours a week, now spending more time with family. He's now working on other investments, because we've already spent the last 6-9 months in transitioning him out of the business, and he's in a much better place. So I think a lot of people have that idea of where they want to go, but they just get so buried in that day-to-day minutia that it's really tough for them to get out of it. And one of the mistakes I find is that they often feel as though they have to hire somebody full-time to replace them, but just start those baby steps initially. There's so much fractional, part-time people or even virtual people out there that can help make that transition. Then it could just start them on that journey.
And today I would like you access to a free private money webinar. All you have to do is go to this link right here, click on 1000houses.com/free-stuff, and scroll up and down the home page. And when you find the link that reads free private money webinar, click on it and it'll be automatically digitally downloaded right to you, and you'll be studying before you know it, and you're going to be all the smarter for it. This is Mitch Stephen, and I will see you in the next episode.